Okay, with the General Serrano card, bad card for the cartel, they had to fire things off. They wanted to do something to prevent anyone from using that. What they did was a rally action. They couldn't do the special activity in order to prevent the event from happening. And they built a lot of bases with it, and also some troops. You can see their bases are down. They're up to 10 bases now, which is a powerful pile. They need one more, and less than $10 to be in the victory zone. They're attracting some definite attention. The FARC, the government needed to pass in order to do this, and the FARC didn't want to fire this off as a limited action when if the government takes the event, they're probably going to get the double action on the next turn. So again, trade away being able to recycle more quickly, but you get an extra resource for it, and it seems worthwhile. Let's see what our new card is coming up. First Division. This is another government capability, and this is one which requires a heavier commitment than the basic civic action. The basic civic action, I have to be careful here, because over here, civic action is government control and any troops and police, which is not what's fit in the rules. I think there's a discrepancy here. Probably should go online and look it up to see what it should be, but government may spend any number of resources in any government-controlled cities or departments that have both troops and police. Now that's what I have. So yeah, you need troops and police. Okay. So now the change would be, if they succeed in taking this, they don't need both. They just need one. And if they if this is taken against them, they're going to need 2 of each. That's a painful choice too, but I think this is more valuable, being able to do the sweeps. At least with the situation of fighting the FARC directly. Getting my victory though, this second one may be more valuable. I don't know. How do I get... Oh, you can move police into these areas, I guess, with... what? I'm just wondering if I'm going to be able to do civic actions with police. It says move troops, move any cubes with a patrol, but that can't get me into an area. Training. I think I'm allowed to put police using training, and airlift only uses troops, right? Yeah. Yeah, see, the problem is I don't know how I'm going to get police out of the cities. So I don't know how I can win and get the support into my side without this card. This may be more important to me than trying to destroy the... oh boy. Yeah, well, somehow I upped this, and I'm not sure how that was done. I think I must have cheated. Government can spend any number of resources to build support with both troops and police. Every 3 spent removes a terror. Yeah, I don't know when that happened. Oh well. Well, the government passed on this Ospina card, which means they're only going to be able to do 1 sweep per card now. Painful choice, because the FARC jumped in, took that event, and the AUC took their opportunity to build their bases up, and now they're winning the game. They've got more bases than the FARC, and everybody wants to move against the AUC now to prevent them from winning, if that is going to be the case. We got our First Division, which the government definitely wants to pick up, and Hugo Chavez! He can be used to wipe out insurgents, which could be powerful. that could knock out the AUC, or it's got a powerful advantage for the FARC as well. That's an interesting event in both directions because it can be used to halt the AUC's chance of winning a little bit. On the other hand, the FARC gains just as much by gaining a base, so I think they're more likely to be interested in this, and they get first pick at it, given the setup. Well, the government felt they need to do this First Division card. They held off on a card they really wanted, the Ospina card, in order to get this. But by triggering an event, they opened things up for the cartels. And the cartels did a rally action, building more bases. You can see they're up to 11 now. Now they have enough to win. They don't have enough resources, though, but they also did a process special activity, which has put some big drug shipments on the board. I'm not quite sure what to do with these. I can't just turn them in for resources. I don't have an easy way to get resources from them. Over here, victory is checked before the resources phase, so I've got to figure out a way to get cash. Now, it is possible to do, say, the processing and dump cartel bases for 3 resources each. But that doesn't seem like a terribly valuable means of getting resources. And I don't know. I don't really have the options, like I don't have the extortion type options that the other groups have. So it's tough for me to get my resources up. I'll be able to do it, you know, assuming those shipments last. But now there's a big target on my head because somebody captures those and they're worth 6 resources or a base each. Ouch. Okay. Well, shift these. And we move Mr. Chavez, which is an interesting card, no question. And we have a propaganda card. And that's a problem. The AUC has to be stomped at this point. If they can't be defeated, the game is over. Running down to the wire here, the FARC were unable to use the Chavez card. They could not prevent the AUC from winning with it. But here's the problem. They did a rally phase. And they built bases everywhere they could. You can see they would have liked to build one here, but the AUC has both base spaces filled. But they built bases in every space they really could. You can't build them on the roads. So that's kind of troublesome, I think. Yeah, departments and cities. Okay, so that causes a problem here. And they were able to get an equal number, but if they lose one base, the game is over, basically. The AUC will win. And the AUC has a limited operation or the event available. Now, the event would be powerful. If there was a FARC base next to Venezuela, they could destroy it probably. But they can't do that. So now the question is, can they perform an attack which will get a base? I don't know. My gut tells me no. Unless they can do something tricky here, which I don't think they can. Anyway, that's where we are, is where the FARC had to play. And I forgot to count. I bet you the FARC's above the line on these. I'm going to have to count the total number of bases in opposition to see if that's above 25, because if that is, and I don't think it is, I think I added less than 3 bases, or 3 bases or less, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. It's going to be really close, because if the FARC's over that line, then they must be destroyed. They must lose a base, and if they lose a base, it's sort of game over, man. I mean, either way, the game's over if they made it up to the 26. We'll see. I was looking at the FARC resources, not the victory conditions. They're only up to 24 on the victory conditions after that. I thought they may have put 3 down, and they did. They went up from 21 to 24. But this is getting kind of clever. The AUC, I found a way that they could have done it if it wasn't for the fact that the FARC grabbed the full operation. If they'd done the event or something, the AUC would be able to pull this off. What they do is a terror operation with assassination, where they could destroy any enemy piece. They don't have to worry about what they do in attacks, which is where bases come last. I'm just not seeing an opportunity for them to whack one of these FARC bases. They'd really love to. I don't know what I'm going to do. Chavez, I think, also allows you to remove any piece. But again, that's not an option, really. I could do some damage to the cartel, I guess, which seems appealing because the cartel's also really close to victory. I'll come back in a moment. Well, the cartel, the AUC decided to attack the FARC, the cartels. They really couldn't do anything against the FARC. The cartels are going to be a problem anyway because they have 3 shipments that nobody took away from them. The 4th one got taken away by Hugo. But now we're going to proceed with the turn, and this is going to be kind of painful as we're going to have a new president who wipes out the FARC zones. I'm seeing I did things wrong with the sabotage last time, where I allowed the FARC to sabotage adjacent roads. That's not the case. I misread that. The sabotage each unsabotaged LOC where total guerrilla exceed cubes, or for which an adjacent city is under FARC control. Well, no, cities are under FARC control. But I was triggering off the stuff next to FARC-controlled locations, which I think may have just been this, and I reduced the government income from that. Again, first time playing, shit happens, right? But now we actually have sabotages that are going to be starting to be put down properly, because there are FARCs sitting on the roads everywhere. And is it just FARC? No, it's any guerrillas. I'll sabotage it. So I got to keep an eye out because I had some green guys on the road too. But that looks like all that we're actually sabotaging. It's tough to do, I guess. Okay, so after going through this propaganda phase, I noticed some misconceptions. First of all, from reading the advice on bases, I walked away with the thought that I need bases for police. That's not exactly the case. I can shift police into areas if I have control of them as the government. So I've thrown some police in there. I can't keep troops there without a base, though. So it's kind of weird. I could throw police out on the roads, too, at this point. All very odd sort of interactions of how these things go. You basically have to very much read through. It's very, this can do this, very specific and very careful, and it's not always intuitive, to me at least. Anyway, what do we got here? We've got a situation where using that first division bonus, which I probably wouldn't have taken. I probably would have taken the sweeps bonus. I'm not going to go back and fix anything. But using that first division bonus, I managed to pump this up. And I also grabbed, I believe this one? No, this one. Support here because I had enough troops there finally. And I'm positioning myself to move into an area like this. If I build a base there, then I can build police up. Now, everybody's close at this point. FARC AUC are tied on bases, which means the AUC's close. The cartels, they're over their victory conditions already. By the way, look at that money. This is after the government spent money to affect popular will, too. Both the government and the cartels have humongous amounts of cash. Cartels traded a shipment in, I don't remember which one, to get another base on the board. Right now, they're above their victory conditions. So if this turn goes quickly, it's going to be almost impossible to stop them, I think. They're the biggest problem with all this money and a couple bases over. They're the only ones who are over. With the FARC, well, they're still within a couple of points of being able to gain. They don't look too dangerous. And for the government, they've got a fair jump, but it seems to be tough to grow support. So I don't know how big that's going to be. Now I'm going to do the reset phase, and that's really not a big deal. That's just everybody sweeps back into eligible. A lot of these markers get cleaned up. The insurgent holding boxes get cleared. All the guerrillas go hidden again. and then we start a new turn, a new sequence of turns. All right, I'm going to load this one up.